Well, thank you guys for filling in for me. It's really nice to
Yeah,
be
you're
able to
welcome.
be on and participate as little as I could that way, but yet still be there and take care of my family. And
So we're live from Montana today.
yeah, we are live from
Cool.
Montana. So my growing up home. So that's my mom's garden. That's the driveway, the shop. Her big garden.
Yeah, I noticed you're conveniently there when there's no snow.
Yep. By choice.
That's something that I would notice immediately.
Yes, it's green, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Just waiting for my coffee to be brewed
God's
so I can
country,
have
man.
it with you. Yeah.
It really is. It's really beautiful there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That was my word for the day. I had it early. I was checking in. What was my word for the day? It's beautiful. Okay, fine. I noticed it. Joe asked me, "What's your word?" I said, "I don't know. I don't have one yet." And then a beautiful was right there again. I was like, "Oh, well, I gotta go with that. Gotta go with that one." So he brought in flowing. So Joe left us with flowing. So
Oh, wow. Yeah.
and everything's a structure. Like, and if everything that we create, our reality only exists because of structure. So like that's got to be a beautiful flowing structure. Sometimes we need to dissolve them. And so we looked at, well, how do we dissolve them? So dissolve is a version of letting go. Yeah. So
wasn't that Allison's word yesterday?
Yep. Still in the field.
Yeah.
And so what he brought into my structure was when we think of letting go, we think of like we're holding on to something and then we can just drop it. Energetically, we can't.
Right.
And so Joe, like what he was working, said from a letting go, he says, no, we need to allow it, accept it, and embrace it.
Change the grip.
Yeah.
That's right. That's letting go of it. Yeah. It's like, and the energetically is to go through it.
Making peace with it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Allowing
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
Peace with it is how we let go of it. That's how we drop it. That's how we drop the charge and move it into a neutral, move it into a positive.
Yes.
If it's a
we
negative charge.
Integrate it.
Yes. Integrate it.
Yeah.
Yes. And it appears as we let go, it appears as it's a dissolve, it appears as a move away from. But it's a whole nother process than what we normally think we do when we are avoiding it. So it takes so much of the same characteristics of avoiding.
Yeah.
I think that. So if we can learn, not only like it, we embrace the good times, right? Embrace the tough times.
Just as much as the good times.
Just as much. All it is gives the different flavor. So you know whether it's a flowing or stuck, it good or bad. It just gives the context, the difference, stretches the rubber band between 2 points.
Yeah, neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Get back to neutral, get back.
Yeah. It allows the tension to resolve itself.
Yes, that's all tension wants is equilibrium.
Because through that, I have discovered my word for the day is inspired. I'm incredibly inspired now. It's like more so than ever. Yeah. So what I've learned from the teachings and the learnings and all that I have focused on, I'm really now putting it into the real practice of everyday life. And so this is a real, quite amazing experience that I'm experiencing for the very first time. And that's what I feel, that's where the innocence is, It's just everything is like when I look at somebody, I can look at them and I can look into their eyes and it's like, yeah, I see so much. It's so beautiful, Before I used to walk past somebody and just think, hey, whatever, because you're so involved in your own dealings.
Yes.
And so it's just an out of the box experience where you can see people for who they are now. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Because what comes down to me is relationships. This is what I understand now. My need, and what I giving to myself now. That it's very, very inspiring. Because I'm not surprised anymore what comes into my life with such explosive, like it's just like wow, it's just like wow, there's not even the doubt of it now, because I even look at it as it's just allowing that, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Can I share what I heard you say there?
Yes,
Nikki?
of course. Yes. I would love you to share.
Yeah. When what I heard you say about being inspired is to actually to pause and honor that inspiration and take the time with it to absorb it and actually let it penetrate.
Yeah. It's an embodied experience, this is what I've always just embody it, like the practice and everything else that you always wonder when, why, and all that. But when it comes to the place where you just say, okay, you can make peace with for whatever is happening, that you're going to not miss out on anything. Things are just going to come in as a flow. And when it does come, it's in the perfect timing. And so, the perfect timing. When I say that, it's in that timing when you receive it. That's the timing you should receive it. So this whole wondering, why is it taking so long? Or the frustration of thinking that you went through so much, why did it have to go like that? It was meant to go like that. And I think when we have that concept of just realizing that life is unfolding the way we are creating it to unfold, because it's all really basically it's a vibration of frequency of what we are putting out. It's our energy. It really is. And we think, but our words are very powerful. The thoughts are another level. If you can really take hold of your thoughts, and that's the emotion of feeling it. So, we are the universe. This is what we are. This is, and to me, that's now, it's just very inspiring. It's just very inspiring to come to this place because I'm not questioning it. I don't question it now. I let it flow. I just let it flow. Yeah. Yeah, I let it flow.
Yeah, and also the realization that we're not creating that reality on our own.
Exactly. Very powerful.
That we're around.
Yeah.
And that we are in relationship with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's so true. And what's even made more deeper for me is really seeing behind facial expression, people's reaction, words that they say, all of that. I can go behind the scene. It's nothing that I take personally now, and I mean that. So and especially with people very close to me, I used to get very take on their energy, because that's what happens. And that's what happens with people when they take on energies, that it's overwhelming, and it can overwhelm you, and then it takes you off your course. So it takes a lot of awareness to know.
Yeah, I had the habit of doing that too, taking on the energy of the people around me.
Yeah, exactly.
And it finally came to the place where there weren't very many people around me that wanted to create the same reality as I did.
Exactly. Right. But I had a great encounter.
That's a hard truth to come to.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. But yeah, it really is. Yeah. Yeah, because it's alone. It is a way of alone. You're alone in it, in a way, because you have to exclude yourself, because sometimes God hides you. He hides you a little bit away from everything, just to allow you to hear his voice. Because
I had to excuse myself from that reality.
Yeah, because we hear
from
too
that
many
reality
voices
that everybody else wanted to create. I didn't want to be in that reality.
Yeah. But
and
also,
it was hard.
I think with others,
it was hard for me to allow myself to leave it.
Yeah.
I'm still being harassed by it, which is very interesting.
Yeah. But it's the voices, the other voices, the voices that it's not God. Now it's not, your highest self speaking. That. And I think that's the lesson, or not the lesson, but the practice. To know what voices you're listening to. Because speaking into somebody's life can either encourage or can really discourage. The tongue it's the smallest part of your body, but it's the strongest. The strongest. So we better watch our tongues, how we speak to ourselves, but mostly to others too. So that's just very inspiring again for me. Huge one for me. Yeah. So yeah, it's very inspiring. And there's many people, like yesterday, I was like, oh my God, it was like a playground for me. I said, fine, like, wow, this is just, and I could feel so excited in my body, but I knew that, you know, to show the enthusiasm is one thing, because people, they can feel my enthusiasm, because it's like, it's real. So, but with this particular person, I felt hers. You know what I mean? It was so like, oh my God, energetically, it was like vibing, like it's no one's business. And it was like it's so beautiful to be in that sequence of just connecting, you know, on a really, really deep level of just allowing. And when I shared with her, she understood, and in the sense of collective consciousness, intentionally, all these things, you know, that we'd speak about and talk about. And she, oh yeah, and then she went into it a little bit, and oh, it was just so amazing. So I think that's, you know, it's not to say that everyone, not, this is very interesting. That yesterday, I'll give you an example. I went to a band called The Dip. It plays beautiful music. These lyrics are just gorgeous. And it was it was on the lawn, and everybody was just like dancing and all that. But they took two people to stand up. And these two girls stood up and they were just dancing. I'm talking dancing. They didn't care. It just took those two people. And I'm telling you, the people that were around me got up and went straight to them. Then the other group went straight to them. And then eventually everybody stood up and they were dancing. Yeah.
Yep.
So I went to the girl that stood up, you know, and danced. I said, I want to tell you, wow, you really lit something here. She said, no, everybody wanted it, but they just didn't want to do it. You understand? They all wanted to stand up and dance, but they didn't have the courage, or they didn't have whatever. Yeah. That, you know, because it's conservative or whatever, you know, maybe, yeah. But then everyone stood up and danced. So everybody wants to know the meaning of life. Yeah. Who am I? Yeah. And I think purpose is a little bit, it's not much of a good purpose. Is purpose to have a beautiful walk. Purpose is to have a beautiful meal. Purpose is to have a great weekend. It doesn't have to be this big thing, you know, being purpose. What's your purpose? You know, it gets you off track. Purpose is like, yeah,
Can be too serious.
whatever you choosing to create, basically, you know, what you want to experience, because it's all experience. So I was very inspired by
Thank
that
you for
yesterday.
sharing the story about those two girls dancing.
Oh my God.
Because
yeah.
It's interesting right now. Here we are, beginning of July. It was in about the second week of July that I joined the Magnetic Mind community.
Uh-huh.
So I've been around this group of people for pretty much a year now.
Uh-huh.
And what's really amazing is that it was a year ago now, that I started dancing on my own. I started dancing on my own, and I found all you people.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Because there was nobody that wanted to dance with me.
Oh, I know.
I know. There was
danced.
nobody in my life that wanted to dance with me. And here I am, like 12 months later, full year later, and I've found dozens of people that want to dance with me.
Absolute.
And and none of them are expected. None of them were expected.
I think that's the best part, when it's
That is
unexpected.
the best part.
When it's unspontaneous, just happens, and you think, oh,
It's
wow,
amazing who's come
wow.
out of the woodwork
Oh, the woodwork.
to
I've
dance
used that
with.
word. Yeah, I've used that word. You know, funny enough, you say woodwork, because I've used this word the whole week this week. When things have become a lot of things, I won't go into, because it's my way of going into something. But I go to say, oh, this is just woodwork. I say that it's just woodwork, and I don't know why I brought the woodwork up, but I think the woodwork is like just allowing me to say, just level up, you know, it's okay. Woodwork, it's just woodwork. Yeah. Because I'm getting familiar with feeling and knowing how I want to feel and how I want to grow and how I have grown. And it's just woodwork. It's nothing than just building. And I found that's maybe why I said woodwork. Woodwork, I did woodwork in school. It's strange. I know it's strange. But boys only did woodwork, but I wanted to do woodwork. And woodwork is like you have the nails and you build things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I love it. I loved it. And I was the only girl in the class. I had to get permission. But anyway, so I find the woodwork it's just building. It's like a building for me. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, there's another piece of wood. I just, hammer in and then take another nail and hammer that one in. And so it's almost like I'm building, because I feel like I'm building from scratch.
Yeah.
Like literally from scratch.
My grandfather, my mother's father was a finishing carpenter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. So I come by that pretty naturally. And my dad and we started doing renovations in the house I grew up in. Oh, I was probably maybe 8 years old when I started doing that kind of stuff with him. So yeah, I've been woodworking for a long time. And I actually, this is funny too, I actually built caskets for a while.
Oh, wow.
You know, those fancy coffins that they bury people in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that for a while too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just very inspiring.
Yeah.
Just very.
It's very interesting to look at that and anything and everything from that perspective, from that lens, because like purpose is woodworking, it is baking, it is painting,
Jesse.
call it right. We separate it into these domains.
Amen. I agree. I totally agree. It's that's purpose.
Yeah, it's like something from nothing. Yeah,
exactly. To everything.
It's
true. I love that. Oh my goodness.
Crafting.
Drafting, drawing it out.
And do you see how colorful everything becomes? It doesn't become so, that you're feeling so heavy. You feel coming from a light. It's light. It's easy. It's flowy. It's like momentum. It's like, oh, great. Yeah. It's not like, oh, I've got to be so like restrict and be like this and do this and say this. And no, that's all conditioned again. That's all programmed again of what society wants and what you were raised and how things were and what you were told. And so you're thinking actually for yourself, because you're thinking how you want, what you want, in a sense of having it already. And for that, I find it so, for me personally, coming from a place where, I felt like I was in the wilderness. I was just for the wolves to eat me up, But it's just wonderful to come to that place where you go, wow, now. It's
I want to touch on something quick before we lose it. And that
Mm.
was, we were talking about those two girls dancing, and then everybody else,
Mm.
or well, not everybody else, but a whole lot of other people started dancing along with them.
No, everybody started dancing. Literally everybody.
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that.
cool,
I
exactly.
videoed it. I videoed it, by the way, and I'll put it on Facebook,
Good, awesome.
so you can go watch it.
So, anyways, remember I was saying that a year ago, I couldn't find anyone, or I didn't have anyone to dance with.
Mm.
Desperately wanted to dance. Well, you know what's interesting is throughout the year, what I've realized too is about being really selective about who I dance with.
Yeah.
Because I used to dance with anybody who came along, and
Yeah,
I don't anymore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, as a
Yeah.
highly sensitive person, I would dance with whoever showed up. And yeah.
You also,
I'm exercising a little more discernment there.
Yeah, this is it. I think that's the impact of realizing how sensitive it is to be around people, because people are energy, and doesn't mean that their energy is going to be your energy. And if you know their energy is not going to, it's going to deplete you, it's not going to uplift you, then why be with that? I mean, let's just face it, why be with that? Why would you be around people that just constantly like finding fault in you? Like fault, not constructive criticism. I'm talking fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. And literally telling you there's something wrong with you. You need to change. But meanwhile, they're the manipulator. They're the ones that want to do what they want to do. And then that's what you become, the puppet, if you don't understand that. So that's just taking your power back, as we can speak it in this kind of language. You take your power back and say, no, I love you, but I love myself enough to say, no, I'm not participating. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's in New York, there's a lot.
What really hurt there for me is that I had invested so much of my life in these people.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah. But
like,
I think
energetically, but I mean, we're talking not just energy, we're talking love and caring and children and the whole bit.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. It's called disappointment.
Yeah.
Very, very, very that disappointment that really carries a long time in your body, because it's how you then relate to the next person and the next person, the next person. This is why letting go,
in fact, it has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, this is why we speak in the beginning of the session about letting go. It's so vitally important. It's not easy. Never said it was, but the letting go of that, you can then take the other person for who they are and not allowing the other energy to carry to that next person, because that's what happens. And then you allow that person to pay the debt of what that disappointment was in the past, or what you had experienced with someone. And that's not fair on that person.
What do you mean? Allow someone else to pay what debt?
When somebody has hurt or disappointed you, or you invested in somebody, and then what happens is you take on that disappointment, and then when you meet somebody new, in the sense of just out there, a new person, that's what happens to most people. They take their baggage and their hurt onto the next person, and they let that person pay for what they have received from another person. That's why it's very important to let go and clean slate of making and knowing that people don't jump. I'm talking about relationships now. Jump into the next relationship, if they haven't resolved the first relationship of really saying, I've learned my lesson. It was painful, it was hurtful, etc., etc. But it's very important time, because time it gives you the space to know in your heart what you're choosing again. Yeah. And then so
Yeah.
when somebody new comes into your life, then you're not carrying the wound of disappointment of what others have done, because that's what we actually are. It's happening on a regular basis, and you see it all the time. You see it all the time with trust issues, with people that need more confirmation. It's a controlling, all these things. So I think that helps when make peace with that, and other person can be able to want to show up.
Wow.
It's all letting go.
Yeah. Now I understand why I had this memory overnight.
Mhm.
Wow. Because it's counteracting that disappointment that just came up.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. That's really fascinating.
Yes, it is.
How an offset showed up
Oh, absolutely.
this morning. Wow. Oh, good morning,
This
Ian.
Ian. Morning,
Hi.
Ian.
Morning.
Hey, Ian.
Hi.
How you doing, Ian?
I'm okay. How are you?
Voice.
Good morning, Ian. Nikki's inspired today.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Yes, she is.
Hello,
She's
hello,
on a
hello.
roll.
So that's been her beauty. My word for the day, her beauty has been inspiration, and she's been inspiring all morning.
Oh, interesting.
Joe brought us flowing early, so she's been flowing. We've all been flowing this morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
unlucky I missed out.
Oh, well, you caught up now.
And we revisited Allison's word from yesterday, which was dissolve. We explored that a little bit too.
And Craig has been holding on to the drama of his wow all morning. So
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
he's been
Yeah.
ratcheting up the tension all morning for us, just waiting for it to release.
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't get Nikki to shut up. No, that's
Get to dance. The
That's okay,
listener is
Nikki.
just a the
Nikki, I've
lis-
been dancing with you for the last
the
half hour,
listener-
so I don't have no
the
problem with that.
listener. The listener is just the speaker. There's no difference between the speaker and the listener. They're just as important. Just like
They are.
the cancer patient and the doctor. No one is more than the other.
Yeah, the thing is
you-
that whole disappointment thing was memory as well. Yeah.
What did you have for us, Ian?
I was just going to ask, is Nikki a coach? So she seems to know a lot. So she
of course
sounds like
I'm a
a coach
coach.
to me. Yeah, you sound like a coach to
I
me.
am.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
I'm also a keynote speaker, by the way. That now that you want to ask what I am, that's what I am. I am what I
Oh,
am. What I
nice.
say I am. What can I say?
Mhm.
But I'm also a
But I'm
mother
thinking
and,
about-
and a sister, and I'm a friend.
Mm. Because I'm thinking I might want to become a coach one day. Yeah.
Yeah.
There, it's out.
Didn't
Woo.
come out to be a coach. It wasn't for me to do that. I came into Magnetic Minds to get the education. And that was more important, because what I experienced in the first recode that I did experience, that was by chance on a Sunday evening. I knew in my heart, I thought this is something that I want to look into. And when I took it on, it was really very easy flow for me to go in. And then I went to Costa Rica to do a yoga retreat. And then it went online because it canceled in San Diego. And then I decided, okay, I'll do it online then. And then as I did it online, last year, November, after 3 years, I actually was in San Diego doing the 3-day event that I booked 3 years ago. So what came to me was making that initially steps of wanting to educate, because educate is educata, it's actually bringing forth, it's bringing out. And I knew I had a lot in that I needed to bring out that I wasn't allowed to bring out. I wasn't allowed to express. I wasn't allowed to feel. I wasn't allowed to even choose what I liked, because I just had very, very strict, domineering, overpowering, overbearing, insecure people in my life. Yeah. And it was a threat. I was a threat. And to that, my dad is a Gemini, and a Gemini and Aquarius are actually very compatible. But I was a threat to my father, but more so than I was a threat to my dad, he actually admired me. I know this much.
Yeah.
I know this much.
Yeah.
And because he admired me, he even said, and I reminded me to even say that Nikki reminds me of me. He told my mother this. And that was the wrong person to tell, because my mother had a jealous spirit, incredibly jealous. She didn't mean to be jealous, but she was. She was very jealous. She loved me, but she was jealous, because the love that my father actually had for me was undescribable. And I could feel that. That's why, even regardless of what was happening on the surface and in the reality of the time, I knew he loved me. And what's the confusing part. And so I grew up feeling.
Time he was fighting you.
But he was fighting me. Yeah, he was fighting me.
Same time.
Because he was fighting with himself.
Yeah.
And so with that, so for me to be able to come out of my shell, as to speak, because I'm coming out of my shell, I know people are not going to accept it. I know people are going to judge it. I know people are going to criticize it. They're going to say, who the hell does she think she is? But you know what? I've come this far realizing that's why I had to go through what I had to go through. I had to get a thick skin. I've got to create a thick skin, because if you're going to make a difference in this world or make a difference in your life, no one's going to come along and go cheer you on. Trust me. If you don't cheer yourself and say, hey, good job, well done, no matter what it is, if you wake up in the morning, you say you're going to wake up, you wake up. You cheer yourself. Every little step you do, everything you do, you cheer yourself. You become your own cheerleader. And I promise you, it's going to be a magnet. And so this now, as Craig says, after 3 years, but for me, this is a lifestyle. I've created a lifestyle of this. But knowing that I created the fact that when I came into McKnight, this is where I felt very encouraged, because it was the people. It was the people that were mind-like in a way that I could learn from. I could experience practice sessions with them. I could go through the processes. I could learn through the immersions. I mean, I was 24/7 since I've started. 24/7, I have not stopped, because it's not something that I'm trying to be. I am already it. I've always knew that. And so for this now to come with confidence and say, yes, This is
wow.
who I am. This is who I am. It's not an easy thing for me to say, because the criticism, ridiculed, and judged my whole life, and literally been punished when I came out. You know, you talk about coming out. You get punished for coming out. But if that's the case, then I'll take the knocks, because I realize it's not going to keep me down anymore. It's not going to make me small anymore. I'm not going to stay in a little box to make you feel comfortable, because I'm coming out now and I'm going to say, hey, like it or dislike it. Doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't really matter, because I'm coming out. It's my time. This is my time. I don't have much time, and I don't know how much time I have, but I am now taking the stand, because there's nobody's going to come and you know, feel that they're going to knock me off my stool as such, because I've got too much of a thick skin now. I'm too, really, it just bounces off me. So yeah, this is very interesting when people feel that, oh yeah, she's talking, or this or that. Meanwhile, no one actually knows the journey of someone. This is why I said, be careful with your tongue. Be careful how you speak to people, because you don't know what they've gone through in their lives. You do not know what they've gone through in their lives. And if you cannot, my mother actually said something to me that carried me through my whole life. If you haven't got something nice to say about somebody, shut up. Just shut your mouth. Shut up. And I took that very, very strongly, because I believe that you do not know what people are going through. So for me to say that today has given me the ground to say, here I am, like it or not. Because for me, as a man pleaser, people pleaser, trying to fit everybody, make everyone feel comfortable, feeling the energy, feeling the vibe, you know, no, hell no. Sorry, not sorry.
Still ratcheting.
Yeah. And that wasn't for you, it was for me. Because me expressing me is
but it was for me
important
too.
to hear for me, my unconscious needs to hear that. My little girl, my little inner child is not wounded. I'm not a wounded, broken, busted, disgusted person anymore. Okay? So allow other women, men, whoever feel that I'm a triple threat, I'm a this, I'm a that, let it be then. Because then it shows you're not meant to be near me. Strong people, strong men, one strong woman. They're one strong woman. A real strong man wants a strong woman. Then you know he's a strong man.
Definitely an intense one.
A real friend, yeah, a real friend wants a friend that tells the truth. That's a real friend. But in kindness, not putting like criticism, but really identifying like, no, this is the, yeah. That's why when people say,
someone tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Because if people don't tell you the truth, how am I learning? You know, so I'd rather someone tell me as it is.
Exactly. I don't want you, I want you to tell me. And you know, I like I say, I know that people have their own opinions. That's their opinion. It's not going to shape me anymore, what you think of me. But yeah, if that's how you feel about me, then I at least can, and that I get to choose if I want to be around you. I didn't tell people to love me. They show me by their behavior. I don't demand people to love me here. They just show me, and that's enough. And then I get to choose how I want to love, how I want to express. I don't come on these calls because I've got nothing else to do, eh? I do it because I'm committed. I'm following through. It's important for me.
Because your choice was to find your voice.
And there's it. And it's my whole life, basically.
Mm-hmm. So I share that with Ian as he's been a part of and seen it. And it's like Nikki brought in earlier this morning, yesterday, that she was at a concert and two young ladies stood up.
Mm,
And as they stood up to be
mm.
that demonstration, right? As Ian stands up to be
Yeah.
that coach, as
Yes.
Ian stands up to be that coach, it's like everyone else came
Yes.
and started dancing.
Yes.
I would like to share something. I haven't really told anyone this because I haven't wanted to, but I feel like I want to
Mhm.
share it here. Obviously, you know I've been doing this work. I was on Joe's Magnetic Mind, but he doesn't do it anymore. So I've gone on to the proper, the full course. I've gone on to that now. Yeah, and what I'm finding challenging at the moment is like my true end result is I would like to be a coach. And there's other true end results that I would
Oh,
like. I haven't
yeah.
told anyone this, but the last few weeks I've been waking up in the middle of the night breathless, and I've been getting a lot of chest pain, and I've been feeling more tired. And I feel like I don't know, I feel like something's up. So yeah, I've been finding it quite challenging. Like I want to be a coach, but then I've got this other stuff going on. So I'm just finding it quite challenging actually taking action. Like getting up in the morning early. Like this morning I was like up at 7, but I was just so tired. I didn't get up till like 11 because I was just really tired.
Mm.
And yeah, I haven't really told anyone, but yeah, I've been waking up in the middle of the night like I can't breathe and like
Awesome.
that. But
Well, you
then
just yeah.
I'm carrying on because I'm not gonna let it stop me. But yeah,
Good. Like,
Beautiful.
look, just let it out. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it.
Mm.
You just planted your seed. You just planted the seed.
And
You've actually, yeah, it's just beautiful. So beautiful, Ian. Congratulations.
I have been getting a bit of fear coming up
Beautiful.
because obviously I've been feeling breathless and stuff, so I've had fear coming up around it, but I've just been, because I get to choose how I feel, so I've just been, pushing through it, so to speak.
yeah, that and what is that? Like pushing through it is exhausting.
Mm. Yeah.
Flowing through it is so much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach for you doesn't fit right.
No, it doesn't.
so find it didn't for me either. So find here's like your challenge, or not a challenge, like your choice, your funness now is to find what word replaces dissolve the coach. There's so much.
I just feel like because this work has been helping me so much, I want to pass that on to others.
Yep. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yes. Like the dancers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, like that's a demonstration. That's a demonstration of it. Demonstration does include coaching, yeah. But it
Oh,
also
come
can
on.
include so much more.
You can coach without labeling yourself a coach.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's huge, actually.
Mm-hmm.
To do
and
that.
That's another thing. I just wanted to say the first couple of months when I was in Magnetic Minds, I went into a group that was me. There's like Sarah and all these other people. I can't go into it. It's like a lot. One of them were also certified and whatever. And as I was coming in, that feeling, like I'm not placed here. This is not my place. I felt that. I just felt it for a second, And I as I was listening, something came up in me, and I thought, wow, that's interesting. I said, well, the one person said to me, I said, yeah, maybe, listen to this, maybe I'm not a coach, but that doesn't mean I'm not a coach. And I said it right in the beginning. So it's like saying to myself, yeah, like, because they were all talking, are you a coach? Are you a coach? Everyone's going around because everyone was wanting to be certified in this work so fast. I thought, Jesus, give me strength here. I mean, I've just dipped my toe in. I'm not running here a race. Because if everyone was running a race to see how to get certified, and it took me a year. I didn't care. It took me a year. So, but when I came in, I just felt like, oh, so like awkward. It was just an awkward feeling for me. And I just announced it. I said, hey, maybe I'm not a coach, but doesn't mean I'm not a coach. And I even said, my wheels are on fire. I'm going places. And I meant it. I meant what I said. So it's not even that, because it's the purpose of true nature and purpose is just to express what you're choosing, how you would like, to show up. But that doesn't mean that's who you are. What you do is not who you are, okay? What you do is not who you are. I'm more than what I do for a living, okay? People need to understand that. It's not what you do for a living. It's not what you do. It's who you are. It's who you are right in this moment.
Yeah. And for me, I've actually been coaching people professionally for over 25 years. And I have absolutely no desire to market myself as a coach.
Yeah, and it's something
anymore.
Like
not at all.
And have you ever seen me on social media or coming across trying to get clients? I don't go advertising myself. Oh, I'm a coach. Come join me. No, I don't. I don't have a website. I don't.
No, I don't either.
I don't.
No.
But that's because of my field of being a business owner of almost 20 years of running my own business in salons. I realized that creativity has always been me. This is an artist in me. This is what I am. This is just what I do. I may ever think about it, So the best therapist, as they say, the best therapist, and my friends can witness it, and people have told me, hairdressers are the best therapists ever. People sit in their chair and they just spill their guts out. And
the best therapist is one that hasn't been trained to be one.
Exactly. Actually. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I've found.
That's what I'm talking about. So this of just showing up and allowing yourself to reveal what is really in your heart or something that is really a strong desire, because desires are beautiful things. I think it's a beautiful thing to desire something. There's nothing wrong to desire something. It's a natural. And that's what I feel this platform is here, what it's about, that you can see. Because what I post on the other day is that I love people that have been in my life that have seen all versions of me. I love people like this. And I have people like that in my life. They've been all versions of me. All different kinds of versions. And
they still love you regardless.
And they love me. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Ian. Thank you. Thank you, Coach. Yes.
And
thank you.
And so here it's like you can help people go through what you've gone through.
Well, I can be sympathized in knowing what they're going through because I've been there.
Yep. And that is the value.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And that is what people want. And so it's like Ian, like your experience, you can talk to it, you can help people see another way for themselves. And that is the real meaning of a coach. Now, the problem when we label it coach is we bring our conditioned expectations into the world, and that's part of the structure that's resisting. So when you're genius, when you're releasing your potential, your true nature,
That's
your
it.
purpose into the world, that's flowing. Yeah.
Yes.
And that gives you the energy. So that will build up your energy, right? And your stamina,
Right.
and it supports it. And so it's just information that's telling you, it's like, oh, there might be something in, it could be the word coach. It could be something like how you've expected it. And so much in the coaching world is when we put financial pressure on it.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
I feel like I want to do is like I want to work with the subconscious mind, like magnetic mind coach. But I want to do it from like help people with chronic illness to help them like overcome their limiting belief, what doctors are told them, you know, showing them that there is life with
Yes.
chronic illness, so to speak. But I feel like at the moment I'm living it myself first because I need to live it
Amen, brother.
myself. I need to experience it myself in order to teach it. How am I going to teach it if I haven't lived it myself?
That's right.
So
And,
that's why I feel
and
like
you
I'm
are
living at the
so
moment.
you are so raw with how it is. That is what's so beautiful. You are so raw with how it is, the good and the bad. And your story, like your story is a wide net for people. I mean, it's an
Yes.
amazing
Yeah.
story.
Oh,
Yes, yes,
totally.
yes.
Oh, totally. The
I'm going to
biggest
be
heart
100%
ever.
honest. I went to the hospital the other month, and the normal heart function's 50%, and they told me mine's 35. So they had told me that I have got heart failure, and it is my heart function's going down. Yeah, and I'm just feeling a bit hard to explain. Like, it's not that I'm projecting into the future, but I can see what's going to come.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I'm trying not to focus on that. I'm trying to focus on becoming the life coach, the word life coach. I'm trying to focus on what I actually want, the end result. But it's quite challenging when you're feeling it in your body.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's where your inner shaman comes in for you, Ian, because this has come up for you for the reason that you already have the power to transmute all that. It's all inside you already. That's why it's showing up. It's showing up as an opportunity to use your superpowers on yourself, on yourself.
And yeah, that's why I feel like I have to go it first.
Yeah, but your feelings aren't accurate. Your feelings are giving you information that's not accurate.
Is it? Very, very, very
The information that
very
you're
good.
taking from it is not true.
That's right. It's lying to you. Yeah, it is. It sounds crazy, but it is lying to you.
So
What it's
now
doing,
it's like, okay,
is referring to an
hold
old
on.
belief that you had.
Okay. Hold on. Now it's like, all right. Like there it is. It's like, oh, here, Ian, here, pushed all onto Ian. And it's like, all right, Ian. Information, right? It was just information there. And what you're paying attention to in that information is what's the tension? What's the structure? How are you reacting to the information?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I have noticed a bit of fear coming up, but it's different saying this and actually feeling it and living it. So I feel like the fear is normal. You know, it's normal to feel fear around it. So, you know, I don't think it's anything like, oh, you know, it's very different listening, but it's very different for you guys listening to it, but then living it every day.
Yes.
It's very different. You know.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
I have no experience of what that would be like. I can't, haven't.
So I am noticing the fear coming up, but then I'm choosing to stay in my power because it's a choice, you know.
Okay,
But I have
so what are
noticed it
you,
coming up.
does this, and the fear keeps coming up though?
It does come up, yeah, because if I feel if I feel something in my body, then yeah, you know,
Mhm,
it does a little bit.
mhm. Good.
But I notice it straight away, and then you know,
So let me, are you resisting it? Or are you avoiding it?
just allow myself to feel it.
Good. And when you're doing that, then like what happens as you do that?
Like yesterday, I had a cry, and I felt all right, and I just cried it out.
Good.
Because I can't just ignore it, because that's spiritual bypassing. You know, I've got to feel the emotions. I can't just pretend they're not there.
That's right. That's great notice, great awareness. Yeah. There's two ways there's two ways to let things go. One is to experience it. And the other is to imagine it. That's the beauty of this work. I think is opened up that second one is like, oh, if we imagine it, that's what the unconscious then can let go of that charge without having to live it. Now, that doesn't change that we may still live it.
Yeah, the double bubble meditation, I have been doing that.
Good. And that's exactly, coach, that's a perfect one to use in a situation like this.
I know where it's coming from now. It's because there was a lady on my social media that had the same thing as me, the same mutation. I say mutation, but
Yeah.
she's the only lady that I've ever known. And I watched her die of heart failure, and she really ill. So the fear is coming from her. I see it that I'm going to end up like her because I'm getting heart issues. So it's me seeing her that's affecting me now. Like that memory that I need to let go of, that I'm trying to let go of, cut the cord to, just let it go. And that I'm not her, you know, just because that happened to her, just because she didn't get a heart transplant, it doesn't mean that's going to be me, you know.
That's right. That's right. But try
I
and
do
tell your
see it.
unconscious that. Your unconscious isn't going to listen to that.
So I do see where it's coming from.
Beautiful. Do you want to double bubble yourself, or do you want to double bubble with a group?
With a group.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I just
I'm
feel
honored.
like I don't know. I might book a private session with someone. I just need to feel like there's something around a recode around that situation that I need to let go of. But I don't know if it would be a recode or not, because you know.
I don't either. You want to find out?
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a couple deep breaths. Center yourself, you know. Paying attention to just all that's here. And I'll just invite the other ones to just like for along, you know, support.
Yep.
And that just
I'm here.
means as we go through is you'll see things that I can't, and feel free to bring them into existence. I'll be paying attention just to how Ian's doing with it. Ian, what I'm going to walk you through is experiencing it. I'm going to walk you through that fear. We're going to walk through it, but we're going to walk through it together. It won't be everything. It won't. This is a pretty massive. No, and it will be enough. Beautiful.
Yeah, I can see
Here.
you just walking me through, holding my hand. So thank you.
All of us, and that's what's so beautiful when we're
That's
not
true.
alone. Yeah, and we'll hold it like just embraced and covered and surrounded by love. I always like to start with, so what is it that you would love? How do you want it to be?
I just want to live my life, be healthy, live my life, turn my experiences into wisdom to help others.
What else?
And I just want to be the best version of myself that I can be, the most loving version of myself that I can be.
Good. Yeah. And what else?
Just see the lessons behind it. Like now, I
What
feel like I'm really learning the value of health, and that's one of my lessons. Like to actually see the value in health, because I did used to take my health for granted, smoking, drinking, you know. So now I'm really seeing the value in health to really appreciate the health, my health, to really, yeah, just appreciate and value health.
And what do you see yourself doing as you are embodying health?
Traveling, putting myself out there, going to retreats, to spiritual festivals, just living my life to the absolute maximum and just living every day to the fullest.
And what does it feel like to, like, what does it feel like when you're living your life to the fullest?
Just feel really heart-centered, really in my heart, like really loving, really heart-centered, authentic. Just, yeah, loving, spreading love everywhere, light everywhere I go.
Good. And one word to explain this openness in your heart.
Love, love for the world, love for humanity.
And as you're doing this, as you're spreading this, as it's coming, oozing out of you, what are other people saying? Doing? Like, what do you notice others?
Words are needed because they just feel me. So I don't think words are needed.
Good. I see them coming from all around, right? I see them drawn. It's a drawn to you, yeah? As I say that, what does that feel like?
It's like a magnet.
And how do you feel about it?
A bit scared.
Good. What's scary about it?
Just allowing love into my heart, I might get hurt.
No. What else?
don't know, a crack in my heart, like just seeing a crack in my heart around getting hurt.
Uh-huh. Is it an old crack or a new crack?
An old one.
Okay. Do you see the two ends where the crack begins and ends?
Yeah.
What about the edges? What about where it's whole?
I'm just seeing one crack. The rest is like illuminated,
Yeah.
like shining, but there's just this crack that's like separating the two sides, the two separate ends, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. What does it? What would it take to fill that crack?
I'm getting fully expressing myself.
Mm-hmm.
Fully loving myself no matter what.
Uh-huh. And when you're doing that, when you're fully expressing yourself, what would you say to yourself?
That my voice can be heard, that I've got stuff to say, I've got stuff to give.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's self-belief. I'm getting it, it's ancestral.
So we're gonna mix up a special mortar. Do you know what a mortar is, right? Like a special, we're gonna mix up a special cocktail to fill in that crack.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh-huh. And it's gonna go all the way. Not only do cracks go wide, but they go deep. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm getting that the crack might be affecting my physical heart.
Interesting.
But I'm
Do you
also
see
getting that it's around a lady, like that my friend that I talked about.
Yep.
Maybe the crack's from her.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Because I felt her pain. I felt and saw how much she suffered. And yeah, I think maybe it's from her because I saw her in me.
Is that true?
To some extent, yeah.
Mm-hmm. A likeness, but the truth is not you. Yeah, a likeness. You have no idea what was going on internally. Yeah.
Mm.
A likeness.
Yeah, I
It
think you're
could.
right. I'm just basing it on appearance and that we looked alike, but inside we're
Yeah.
different.
You bet. Look,
That's just external factors.
Yes. Yeah. So much is happening in the iceberg, right? You only see the top of the iceberg with so much more going on underneath.
And I'm getting that she had a lot of energetic blocks as well. So it's
Yes,
just
which is what
energetic
are
as
you?
well.
Yes. That's underneath the surface. And what are
Whereas
you
I'm
doing?
releasing mine,
Yes, brother, yes. And as you release it, what's happening?
the cracks go in and just let go. That it's not me, I'm not her.
Hmm. Go ahead, Craig.
And I'm also getting that I met her so she could show me myself, so I could face my fear, so I could release it.
Bingo.
Because she mirrored me So I met her so I could be here doing this, so I could release it, so I could face myself.
Yep. Gave you feedback.
Really, it was me facing myself. So I met her for a reason. So I could let go of the fear.
Yes. I just see her finger going in that crack and filling it up with what you need to know.
Yeah, she's telling me just to let go.
Mm.
I'm not her, she's not me.
Can you love that?
Pardon?
Can you love that?
Yeah.
Just breathe into that a few times so that you can mix that mortar, you can mix that special gel, that gelling, that healing gel from her, from you, combining it into that crack. Just
And
imagine
I'm just
it.
getting a word, embody the wisdom.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
So it just came to me, embody the wisdom, embody the wisdom. Let go of the
Yeah.
fear and embody the wisdom.
Yeah. Receive the gift.
And I'm getting that we agreed to meet before we were born so she could help me. Something from a past life around an energetic block, and I met her and she mirrored me so I could release the energetic block in my heart.
Now, what do you need to say to let that block go?
I'm getting self-forgiveness and I don't know why, just self-forgiveness.
Good.
Yeah, take that then.
I think I'm getting self-forgiveness because I was diagnosed when I was 25 and I knew that I needed to be a strict diet, that I needed to take care of myself, but I still ate junk food. I still smoked because I didn't love myself. And I feel like there's something there around. She got diagnosed at 37 when it was the damage was already done and there was nothing she could do. And I got diagnosed at 25, but I still continued to eat shitty food and smoke because I didn't love myself. So I feel there's a bit of guilt there around that if she got diagnosed at 25, she would still be here and she would have took care of herself because she had self-love, but I didn't. So I feel like it's a bit self-inflicted. So I feel like self-forgiveness around not loving myself enough to take care of myself. Oof.
Just wrap all of that, all of those things you see and all that you did, all that you said about it, all the thoughts back then as a 25-year-old. Yeah. That's just one spot, right? You just kind of, what do you want to do with all of those? How do you want to get rid of them? Want to tear it up? You want to burn it? You want to drop it in the bottom of the ocean? What do you want to do with it?
I just want to like let it go in a bubble and then it can go into the sun and just burst in the sun and like in a bubble and then it goes up into space and then goes into the sun. And because the sun's
Beautiful.
so hot, it just burns it.
Good.
Like the sun
Imagine
gives
that.
life.
Yes.
The sun gives life. And so I want the sun to give me life and let go of it.
And when it heats it, right, it'll transform it into repairing mortar, right? Repairing liquid love, because it's always the other side of it. Just imagine that going up into that sun, all of that, all of it, wrap all of it all around the hating self, angry at self, disappointed in self, the guilt of it. All the times, the moments, generational, all the way back to the original moment, to the very, very beginning, to the very, very start of all of this. Right there. And just rake it all back into that bubble. Whatever you need to do to let it float when you're ready, just watch it float up into the sun. Watch it melt. And then just see those rays from the sunshine just filling that crack in your heart.
Yeah, I'm holding on to it because of guilt.
Good. What's the other side of guilt?
Regret.
Good. So guilt, regret. What's on the other side of those two? What's opposite of guilt?
Self-compassion, because at the time, there's other circumstances at the time, it wasn't just.
Yep.
There was a lot going on at the time. I wasn't in a very good relationship, quite abusive relationship. I was really entangled in my family's drama. There was a lot going on. At the time, it wasn't just me not loving myself.
Mm-hmm. Put that relationship in that bubble. Put all that energy in there, in that bubble. Put all that
I'm
regret.
forgive myself for playing victim.
Good.
Because I used to play victim really well.
Yeah, good. Yeah, shove the victim in that bubble. What does it feel like to put the victim in this bubble?
It was freeing, like victim of circumstances, like, oh, I'm a victim, and they used to serve me really well.
Yes. Yeah. And what did you get? So when you say it served you really well, what did it give you?
Excuses.
Put them in there too. And so those excuses, what did that give you? Like what resolve, what it made you feel good for some reason, just for a little bit.
The excuses stopped me from trying and wanting to achieve. But really, it was a fear of failure.
Good. And you can put fear of failure in that, fear of failing, put a fear of trying, all the things in there.
It's like, oh, because of like health issues, I won't even try. But that was really an excuse
Mm-hmm.
for not trying, because if I try, I'll fail at rejection.
Yeah.
Like I say, I had so much health back then,
Yep.
Well, it was just an excuse to not try, because if I try, I might get failed and rejected. And then if I get rejected, I'll see that my father was right, that I'm not good enough or I'm not loved.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. See the loop? See the whole feedback loop?
Yeah, stemming back to my father, I'm not feeling lovable.
Yep.
Me being myself isn't lovable.
Yep.
So I won't even try. Because
Good.
if I try, I'll prove him right.
Yep.
When I'm just seeing a father wound, it's healing, but I'm seeing it in my inner child, like a father wound.
Mm.
Not me
How
today,
old?
but my 5-year-old
Yep.
self.
5-year-old self? Good. Well, what's happening with
Yeah.
that 5-year-old?
Just feels scared to be himself, feels scared to express himself, feels
Uh-huh.
fear around rejection, doesn't feel like he's lovable, good enough, worthy. If I just sit in a corner and shut up and stay quiet, then I'll be safe.
Good. Now just imagine that you, as you are now, yourself today, comes and sits down with this 5-year-old in the corner. What would you tell yourself? What's happening? And maybe you don't even have to talk. Just notice the interaction, the introduction. Here's the key, is the introduction.
Just go and be yourself, play, be a child.
Good. How old does this 5-year-old think this today's self is?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
How old does the 5-year-old think you are today?
$35.
Good. Can you share the wisdom with this child?
I'm also getting if I have health issues, then I won't have the pressure to succeed. It takes the weight off me,
Mhm.
because people are like, oh, he's not well, give him a break.
Yep. Is there another self that was just before, that was before unwell? Is there a well self, a healthy self?
There is, but he's not allowing himself to express himself, or
Good.
not allowing himself to be a child. He's not allowing himself to have energy and run around. He's not
Mhm.
allowing himself to be himself.
Mhm. You want to invite him into the corner? Yeah.
He just wants a hug because I'm getting it. He's really love deprived, like really.
Yeah.
Feels really deprived of love, so he just wants love.
Uh-huh. And now you, as being all wisdom, what would you do?
Give him the love that he's been looking for. Give myself the love I've been looking for.
Mhm,
Stop looking outside of myself for it.
mhm. Let me know when that's done.
Done.
What's different? What's new? What's there in this circle with the three of you?
All the hearts are illuminated.
Mhm. What does that mean?
The hearts feel full.
What are they
They
full
feel
of?
loved. Love. They feel loved.
Which way is it flowing?
Which way is it flowing, did you say? Sorry.
Yes.
Left.
Good. And what does left mean? Which way? What does left mean?
Left for love.
Mm, good. Is that forward? Is that future for you?
No, I'm getting past that.
Good.
It's gone into my inner child.
Good. So it's feeling good. Love is going backwards. Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, it
All the way
feels like
back.
it's
All
gone
the way to the
into
depths.
into my child self. And then my new timeline's changed because I've got in my teenage years, my early 20s, I've got that love, so it's changing the timeline. Changing it trajectory, the word?
Yep. Trajectory. Yeah. You
Yeah,
bet
that's
you.
it.
You bet. Oh, amazing. Yes. Take it as far back as you need it through let it permeate all the relationships. This life, past lives, generational, healing it. Yes. Filling it in. All the way back to that moment where you gave it away, right? All the way to that moment that gave it away.
I gave it away to feel loved.
There you go. So now what do you feel?
Taking my powerful, I'm taking it back. It's mine.
There you go.
You
Feeling
can't
the
have
love
it. Fuck
now.
off.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, that's how you know you got it, right? Right there.
I'll give it to you, my parents, and your stuff.
Mm-hmm. Good. Is that ready to come forward now?
Mm. Thank you.
Just bring it forward, bring it all the way forward, just tagging and treating in the right way, perfect way, all the way forward. Yeah, just allowing it to touch those moments, right? Is the balloon gone? Did it go up to the sun?
Yeah, it's gone.
Good. Is it coming back then? Are you getting it back?
There's still a bit of residue, but most of it's gone.
Good. We'll just take that forward with us, just allowing it from the inside, from the bottom, from the earth, there, from the sun, all the way in and through you. Yeah, all the way back up to the moment of now. And so the child, the victim, and your superconscious, what all three of you doing at this moment now, moving forward.
And I feel like there's still a bit of ashes, but I can sweep them away.
Yeah. And take it all the way out to the end of your timeline. What's at the end for you?
Do you mean what's at the end in the future or right now?
Yep, at the end in the future, as far out as you can see what's there.
Just love, just love. Inner peace, love.
Good. Good. Just stretch that all the way back to now. And it's just your path, right? That's just the path. It'll have all different versions as you just come back from the future, from the end all the way back to now, back into your body, back into yourself, integrated as a whole, as a one, as a healed heart. And of course, is the obvious action. What's the next action? What's the next obvious? What do you do for you?
Love myself even more.
How would you know? What would you do knowing that? What are you going to do?
Just come with it more.
And what will you say to yourself when you're doing it?
All the love I need is already within me. I just need to learn to let it flow for myself
There you go.
before I give it to others.
There you go. And before, what are you going to tell them if they want it? What's your word? Fuck off.
Yeah, just fuck off, yeah.
There it is. Yeah. Any
Just
Any
give it to
support?
myself first.
Good.
That's it.
Good. Observers, anything share with Ian for Ian while he's processing?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'm just checking with the supporters, the crew, if they've
It was beautiful
Any
to hold
words?
space.
yes.
It was just all about love and coming back into my own heart.
Mm.
whole nother level. That's what it felt. It was a whole nother level.
Oh, absolute. Valuing oneself, you know. Core beliefs of what are you letting go of finally.
I'm letting go of the wanting to prove myself.
Mm.
Want to prove myself, to prove that I am lovable. Let go of it, which I have been doing. Know that I'm lovable myself, know my own worth, and then I won't be seeking it outside. It's from where I was wanting to prove myself to my dad, to prove that I'm lovable. Thank you.
No, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oof, like a magician.
Thank you for letting me see and heal my aspects of that too.
Yes, mine too. Yeah. We all heal together.
Yes. That's the beauty of together, together.
Yeah.
Breakthrough. It was an honor. Thank you.
Beautiful honor to hold space. An absolute beautiful honor to hold this space. Thank you.
I'm just speaking from the heart. So yeah, it's from the heart.
That's it.
I'm being honest with myself. No bullshit.
Okay, guys, I'm heading in and I'm heading out to take my son on a soccer tour. So much love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you too. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Ian, I love you. Thank you
Love you
for
too.
sharing that.
Feel a little lighter now. Nice.
So that was a mishmash, a masher of many different processes, you know. Just allowing them to come up as they came up. Seeing introducing the self to the inner child. What do they want? Which aspects? What are they looking for? Helping them see why they can't have it. So there was a double bubble. Double bubble, a little bit of the 3 chair, not really, but more of a allowing them to see what they needed, which is a part of the double bubble. Then an integration of the parts.
But it was all leading me back to the heart.
Yep. All back to what you really, really wanted, right? Structure. It's always the structure. It was just what were you putting in the way of what you really, really wanted? And allowing you, because it is always specific to you. Your word, that's why your words matter. And that's why we can't call what we do here coaching, because today's version of coaches are all about talking.
But you will allow me to have my own voice.
Yes, we have to have our own voice. It's the only way it's the only way we dissolve it. It's the only way we let it go. It's the only way we can embrace that which you're afraid of so that you can have what you really want. And that is what we do together to help people through it. Yeah. Call it a coach, call it a guide, call it a demonstration. I don't know what we call it.
And one day in the near future, I'm going to be on your side. And I'm going to be helping someone through it.
Yes, you already are. You already are.
And I am actually seeing now, like, I'm really vulnerable, and I'm seeing how beautiful my vulnerability is, because I've seen how vulnerable I am. And like, despite everything that's happened in my life, I've still got that vulnerability, and it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I'm seeing the beauty within myself. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us this morning.
Thank you for guiding me through it.
Mm-hmm. My pleasure. Well, guys, anything else before we depart for today?
Just thank you, and I really appreciate you. Yeah,
Oh,
I feel a
man.
lot lighter.
Thank you.
I feel like a weight's been lifted. It's hard to explain. I just feel a lot lighter.
Good. Wow.
My heart's smiling more.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll continue. Yeah, just continue to keep in that lightness. Yeah, you can come back to that feeling. That is your space, and to heal yourself from there. And with healing, we always just healing, just to notice our expectation of healing.
Yeah, I've come to realize there's no rush. Like rushing
Yes.
through my net of mind, there's no rush. It'll happen in time. It's going to take time. There's no rush. Everything will happen in the perfect time.
Yeah. Yes, it does. In the perfect time, in the perfect order, the perfect way.
I'm gonna head off now. I'm gonna go and sit in silent meditation. I just feel like sitting in silence for a bit. Nice. So thank
You
you.
do that. You're welcome, Ian.
Much
Thanks
love.
and much love. Talk soon.
Much love. Much love, Craig.
Bye. All right, Craig, I'm gonna head out too.